Ladies and gentlemen, federal employees, welcome to this episode. And today we're going to be talking about when you can retire as a FERS special provisions employee. So if you are not a special provisions, you're welcome to, of course, listen in. But of course, this is going to apply specifically to those that are special provisions. And you folks, you know who you are. Firefighters, law enforcement, air traffic controllers. The retirement rules are different for you. And so you have to understand the nuances that come with your situation and how it all works. So we're going to dive right in. If you saw my video actually two days ago when it was published, it was the same thing but for regular FERS employees. So if you're regular traditional FERS, go check that out. It was published a few days before this one. And it had a flow chart, which honestly was a lot longer because the traditional FERS have lots of other nuanced types of retirement. And for special provisions, it's relatively simple, which is good news. Now, there's always nuances that come up, but as a general rule, it is simpler. So let's dive right in. So you special provisions employees, because your jobs tend to be, of course, a lot more physically and mentally, emotionally demanding, you have more generous retirement benefits. Your pensions end up being bigger, and you're able to retire earlier than your traditional FERS counterparts. So what does that look like? Really, to be eligible to retire under the special provisions umbrella, you got to meet one of two criteria. Number one, you got to be age 50 with at least 20 years of service, or if you have 25 years of service at any age, you could retire. However, let me make this note. These years that I'm talking about have to be under special provisions as a special provisions federal employee. So let me give you an example. Let's say that you were just a traditional FERS employee for 10 years, and then you hopped over to the special provisions side, and you've been doing that for 10 years. Well, you've got 20 years of total service, but you only got 10 under special provisions. For you to be under the more generous special provisions rules, you've got to have 20 full years of special provision time. And if you're ever not eligible for special provisions retirement, you default and you go back to the regular FERS retirement rules, okay? So what does that mean? Well, again, check out that other video I published a couple days ago, and it's basically this exact thing, but for traditional FERS, because those are the rules that are going to apply to you if you're not eligible for any of these two criteria. But again, let's go back to this. You have to reach age 55 with 20 years of service or 25 years, again, of special provisions time at any age. So those are the two criteria. So if you hit one of those criteria, great. You can retire right away. You can get the FERS supplement most of the time, which is awesome. If you want to learn more about the FERS supplement, I got tons of videos on that, so check that out. You could keep your health insurance. You can do a lot of things because you are eligible to retire with an immediate retirement. It's a great thing, and your pension is much more generous than, of course, your counterparts. Now, if you're not eligible, like I was saying, you then are not eligible for any of the special perks that special provisions have. You then default back to what traditional FERS have, which is still good. It's just not as good. So again, whenever I talk about the special provisions, you want to make sure you understand exactly what you have to do to get the retirement that you want. So this is going to be short and sweet today. Again, I've got lots of other videos for you, special provisions employees, whether it's the FERS supplement and some of the nuances and main differences in your type of retirement. And really one article you definitely got to check out. If you just Google Haas Federal Advisors, the major differences for special provisions, you're going to get an article that goes through all the big differences for you and how it is different from, of course, your traditional counterpart. So I hope that's helpful. If you have any questions, comments, please put in the comments below. The community always gets better when we learn and grow together. Have a great rest of your day. We'll talk soon.